Sādhanā vavatu Sahano bhunaktu Sahavirjam karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Sadāṣivasamārambhāṃ Śaṅkarācārya-madhyamāṃ Asmadācārya-paryantām Vandē Guru-paraṁparāṃ Śrutismriti-purāణānaम् Ālayam Karuణālayam Namāmi Bhagavat-pādam Shankaram Lokashankaram शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः समस्तजनकल्याणे करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। So from today onwards, we'll be discussing Dakshinamurthi Stotram. So first of all, you'll have to understand who is this Dakshinamurti. Tasmai Shrī Gurumurtaye Namaidam Shrī Dakshinamurtaye. My prostrations unto this Dakshinamurti. Who is he? He is Gurumurti. Murti, a form which is taken by the Lord. A form which is taken by the Lord. And what is that form? The form of a Guru. Bhagavān takes various forms. And every form gives us a message about who he is. In Hinduism, we have so many forms of God. So we have so many forms of God doesn't mean we have so many gods. There is a big difference. Having so many God and having so many forms of God, there is a difference. Just because we have so many forms of God doesn't mean we believe in so many gods. No. Hinduism believes in only one God. But that God has got so many attributes. There are so many virtues in that God. So when we have to depict certain virtue of God, then we give a particular form to depict that virtue. So every form has a spiritual message. We have to try to find out what that message is. Right. So to begin with, so we have Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. A particular form has been given to them. So that form is given so that we can meditate upon that form and understand the spiritual message behind that form. There is a philosophical concept. We have to understand that concept. For example, Brahma, Lord Brahma. He is the creator, isn't it? Srishti comes from him. So how is he depicted? He is depicted with 4 faces, isn't it? What do they represent? Lot of symbolism. So we have to understand these symbolisms. What do these 4 faces represent? They represent the 4 Vedas. Because for creation, what is the most important thing? Knowledge. If you want to create something, the most important thing is you must have the knowledge of how to create. Right? So Brahma is represented as 4 faces. The 4 Vedas. The treasure house of knowledge. The source of knowledge. And he is seated on lotus. What does it mean? Lotus symbolizes perfection. So this creation which comes out of him, it is a perfect creation. You can't find any fault with this creation. This creation is perfect. Brahmaji is seated in perfection, rooted in perfection, and thus from this perfection comes a perfect world. Right? And what is his vehicle? His vehicle is Hamsa, isn't it? Hamsa Pakshi. What is the unique feature about this bird, swan? The unique feature is Nirakshira Viveka. Viveka is the feature. You see? Discrimination. What is the proof that you have knowledge? The expression of knowledge is you are able to discriminate what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad, what is real, what is unreal, what is permanent, what is impermanent. This ability to discriminate is the expression of knowledge. You see? Now that Brahma, who is a Sahadharmini, Sahadharmini is somebody who helps you perform your duty. Okay. Saraswati, again, goddess of learning, goddess of knowledge. Isn't it? Now observe Saraswati. What all are there in her hands? You'll find Veda is there. Again, knowledge. Japamala is there. Practice of knowledge. Veena is there. What is Veena? Music. What is music? When you have knowledge, you have peace within, peace inside and harmony outside. This is music. You are in tune with nature. You are in tune with yourself. Music always represents happiness, joy. When do you sing? You sing when you are happy, isn't it? So, happiness and music, they are connected. So, beautiful music goes out. And that Veena is used. Why Veena is used? When the strings are very tight, the string breaks. When the strings are very loose, there is no music. So, the right kind of tension has to be there. In the same way, in life, you have to be moderate in everything. Don't go to extremes, then the music will not come out of you. Never go to extremes. As Buddha said, follow the middle path. Yuktahara viharasya Yukta cheshtasya karmasu Yukta swapnavabodhasya Yogo bhavati dukkhaha. For a person who is moderate in everything, in eating, in sleeping, in recreation, for him, yogo bhavati dukkhaha. He becomes free from all sorrows. Right. So this is about Brahmaji. What about Vishnu? Now observe that form. There is something which you have to learn from the form, from the vehicle, from the, the consort. So how is Vishnu depicted? Vishnu is the god of sustenance. He is there to sustain the creation. Now what is the most important thing to sustain a creation? Wealth. Wealth is the most important thing. So therefore Vishnu is depicted with all gold everywhere, isn't it? Everywhere there is gold. Gold means wealth. Gold means prosperity. And also to maintain the creation, you need to discipline the creatures also. So there is Shankha Chakra Kada Padma, isn't it? What is Shankha? Shankha is the call to all the creatures to walk the path of righteousness. That is Shankha. Walk the path of righteousness. If the fellow doesn't obey, then little correcting measure has to be given. That is Gada. Little bit of, That is Gada. If the fellow doesn't listen at all, then Chakra, finish him off. First give warning, then slowly, intensify the level of punishment, and finally, if the fellow doesn't budge, Vinashaya cha Dushkrita. That is Chakra. But if the fellow follows the path of righteousness, goodness, he is a good child, then Padma, give him Padma. What is Padma? The state of perfection. That is liberation. See, that is what Vishnu has to do. And what is the vehicle of Vishnu? Garuda. What do you understand from Garuda? You see, Garuda is an amazing bird. It's a majestic bird. A royal, majestic. Have you seen Garuda flying? It doesn't fly, it just floats. You see, there is effortlessness there, isn't it? All these little birds and all, they flap wings and make lot of noise, and speed is also less, and Garuda is not like that. Just floats. And where does he float? Not at the lower level. No. You will find him very high. Sometimes you don't even see him also, above the clouds. You see? It represents something about God. Somebody who is ever remaining very high, untouched from the impurities of worldly plane. Raga, Dvesha, Kama, Krodha. Very high, heavenly plane. And the wings are also not flapping. No. What does it show? Effortlessness. Bhagavan is like that. He maintains the whole creation effortlessly. That's why he is seeing there in the Kshira Sagara, relaxing. Remember, the person who maintains is a person who has to be busy totally. For a person who creates, he creates and he forgets. But maintaining is very, very difficult. We all know, isn't it? Whether it is to maintain a relationship or maintain our house or family, etc., lot of work is needed. But here is a person who is maintaining the whole world in utter relaxing mode. You see? So see it from Garuda, remaining in the heavenly plane, untouched from the impurities of the worldly plane. At the same time, if you see this Garuda, he has a microscopic vision. It knows everything what is happening in the earthly plane. It sees everything from there. In the same way, Bhagavan also. Though he is there, ever established in Satchidananda Swarupa, the heavenly plane. But the Lord is aware of everything what is happening in the worldly plane. Another, striking feature about this Garuda is swiftness in motion. Very fast. It swoops down quickly, catches its prey and flies off. Precision and speed. That's the same thing with Bhagavan also. Precision. Precision means what? Which Jivatma has done which kind of karma, when that karma is done, with what intensity, with what intention, against whom, how long, all these details are there with God. That is called as precision. And accordingly, this karma is given karma phala. You see? Precision perfect. That is Bhagavan. And swiftly it is given. There is no delay. At the right time, the karma phala comes to the karta. That is perfection of the Lord. So this is the way we have to meditate upon everything of the Lord. Who is the consort of Lord Vishnu? Lakshmi. You see, Lakshmi stands for prosperity, wealth. It is necessary for creation. And what is the vehicle of Lakshmi? Owl. This is very strange. Lakshmi is the goddess of prosperity and the vehicle is owl. What does it mean? Owl is a being which is totally deluded. It stands for delusion. Means what? For it, light is darkness and darkness is light. In the same way, a person who chooses only Lakshmi in life and forgets Narayana, he will become an owl. You see? A person who gives only wealth. And this is what, a person who is superficially thinking about life, he thinks that wealth will solve all my problems. Any superficial thinker will come to this conclusion that wealth is the one solution for all problems. What will happen to him? He will be completely deluded. Just look at all those people who have become wealthy, rich, prosperous. The one thing which comes along with wealth is ego. Provided you have no knowledge. If you don't pay attention to knowledge, if you pay attention only to wealth, a time will come when you will be wealthy, stinkingly rich. But at the same time, what comes along with it is ego. And what is ego? The mother of all delusion. All delusions come from ego only. Happiness is our true nature. Ego will say, no, happiness is not here. Happiness is there in the world. You see, this is ego. Actually, what is ego? Absence of God is ego. If God is light, then ego is darkness. Absence of God is ego. Wrong understanding of the self is ego. Ignorance of the self is ego. So ego stands for darkness. Ego stands for ignorance. Ego stands for delusion. Ego stands for everything inauspicious. Right. So see, owl is the vehicle of Lakshmi. So this is the way you have to contemplate, you see. Every form has something to contemplate. Every seeker has to contemplate about the form given. Now these forms are given by our Rishi-Munis. A particular God is given a particular form. That form has its message. We have to try to decode the message by contemplating upon it. Now we have Lord Shiva. Who is Lord Shiva? Lord of destruction. What is the most important thing for a man of destruction? For the one who is given the responsibility to destroy? Number one, he needs power, strength. So Durga is the consort. The vehicle lion stands for strength. And you will always find Shiva is an embodiment of dispassion, vairagya. Now this is another very important thing for destruction. What? You must not be attached to the thing which you are going to destroy. Suppose you are attached to the thing which you are going to destroy, then will you destroy it? Never. Dispassion. And see how Lord Shiva is portrayed. Bhasma everywhere. No possessions. Absolutely dispassionate. Dancing in the cremation ground. Death ground. He is dancing and singing. Why? Because he is not attached to anything. Because he is not attached to anything, he is free to destroy it. He has absolutely no hesitation in destroying anything. And that is necessary. Only a dispassionate person can destroy. And now what kind of destruction is this? It is not a destruction born of uncontrolled anger. No. See the vehicle of Shiva. Nandi. Nandi stands for dharma. The destruction is a dharmic destruction. As Puja Gurudev used to say, it is a constructive destruction. That destruction also is auspicious. It is not a destruction born out of, Uncontrolled anger. No. In our case, what is destruction? When we become angry, when we have no control on ourselves, we become embodiment of destruction. This destruction is not like that. It is a controlled destruction. It is a perfect destruction. It is a destruction which brings in only auspiciousness. That is why the name of Shiva. Shiva means what? Auspicious. What a beautiful message through all these forms. Isn't it? So, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. So all these gods in this way we have to meditate. Ganesha. Who is Ganesha? Now see the way, see the form given. Is a Lord of wisdom. Big ears. If you want to be knowledgeable, what you should have? Ability to listen. Big ears. Big stomach. What is big stomach? Ability to digest what you have heard. Ability to assimilate. Many times what happens, we hear so many things, but it remains only at an information level. It doesn't become transformation. Information should become transformation. So that big tummy means the ability to digest knowledge and make that knowledge a part of our personality. Right? And then there's a trunk. What does a trunk mean? Again, the ability to discriminate. The trunk has the ability to even pick the smallest of thing like a needle also. That subtlety is there. Ability to discriminate. Ability to handle the gross as well as subtle truths of life. So this we find in Ganesha. What is the message given by Hanumanji? So this is the homework which all of you to do. Okay? Some few samples I am giving here, that's all. Hanumanji, what is the message? Hanuman is a monkey. Who is the monkey in us? Our mind is the monkey in us, isn't it? But that, chanchalam, pramati, dridham, such a terrible mind, when it surrenders unto the Lord, what happens to that mind? That mind becomes all powerful. This is a message. Atulita baladhamam hema shailabhadeham danujavana krushanam jñāninām agraganyam sakala guna nidhanam vānarāṇām adhīṣam raghupati priya bhaktam bhātajatam namāmi. You see? Atulita baladhamam. An embodiment of strength. Who? Mind. What kind of mind? Not a wandering mind, but a mind which is surrendered unto the lotus feet of the Lord. So that Hanumanji was able to uproot the mountain. He was able to fly across the ocean. It is possible. There is nothing impossible for a mind which is surrendered unto the Lord. Atulita baladhamam. Then jñāninām agraganyam. That mind is able to gain any kind of knowledge, including Brahma Vidya also. A pure mind is able to know everything. So, sakala guna nidhanam, a mind which is surrendered unto the Lord, it becomes an embodiment of all virtues. All virtues come naturally to it. Vānarāṇām adhīṣam. If you cultivate such a mind in you, you will receive love and respect from everyone. You see. Raghupati priya bhaktam. If you cultivate such a mind, then what will happen? Even Bhagavān will be pleased with you. In short, you will get everything. You see. This is represented by that Hanuman form. My own monkey mind, if it is trained to surrender unto the Lord, that mind becomes all powerful, all virtuous, good, disciplined, tamed. That very same mind takes me to the Lord also and gives me liberation also. Manaiva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoho. That very same mind becomes an instrument in my liberation. See, this is a message. So in every form, we should try to find out that message. What is the message of Narasimha Bhagavān? What is the message? What message, Swamiji? There is a message. Even anger becomes a perfect instrument, becomes a blessing if it is under your control. That is a message. Don't say that anger is a vice. No. Anger, if it is ruling you, yes, it is a defect, it's a vice. But if you are controlling the anger, then anger becomes an excellent instrument. There are so many gods who have become angry and the result has been blessings. You see, even the vice become virtue when it is under your control. So this is the way we have to analyze all these devatas, all these forms. So now let us come to Dakshinamurti, this Murti. What does this Murti represent? Anyone who doesn't know what this Murti is, then look at that front book, in Chinmaya publication, you will find that form there. That is the form of Dakshinamurti. So what do you see there? Bhagavān is seated. So this is the form which the Lord has taken. What is the purpose? To grant knowledge. What knowledge? Spiritual knowledge. So now in this form, you will have the answer to everything related to spirituality. What is the source of knowledge? What is the essence of knowledge? What should be the practice of knowledge? What should be the result of knowledge? Who is the fit student for knowledge? Who is the fit teacher for knowledge? Everything is there in that one photo. Have you ever thought in this way? If the Lord has taken an embodiment to grant knowledge, then that form must have everything. Have you ever thought in this way? So that is the purpose of giving a form. The purpose of giving a form to God is not to prove that God has a form. No. God is formless. But He has taken a form to tell us something, to give us a message. So now let us analyze Dakshinamurti. So you will find 4 arms. What all are present in those 4 arms? Fire, Japamala, one Chinmudra, and Vedas. Yes. So let us start from these Vedas. One hand is holding the Veda. So what does it represent? Source of knowledge. So Bhagavān is saying, whatever knowledge I am giving you, it belongs to the Vedas. It is the source of knowledge. Vedas. Right. So source of spiritual knowledge is, in fact, even material knowledge also, it is Vedas only. So one book shows the source. What is the content of this knowledge? What is it in essence? So that is represented by Chinmudra. This mudra is called Chinmudra. What is Chinmudra? Chit means knowledge. The mudra of knowledge is called Chinmudra. Chinmudra. So since this is the most important mudra in Dakshinamurti, we will spend some time here. Because again and again it will come. So later on I will not be explaining this. So what is this Chinmudra? So here, these 3 hands, these 3 fingers. So you separate your, what is this finger called? Index finger. Index is called as pointing finger also. Okay. Index finger. So you separate your index finger from the 3 other fingers. Then that finger is made to bow down to this thumb. So now thumb represents God. Thumb represents God. The most important finger among all fingers, it is thumb. Why? It is this thumb which gives strength to all the other fingers. Just imagine trying to use your hand without thumb. Very difficult. That is why Dronacharya asked the thumb of Ekalavya. Because if thumb is gone, everything is gone. You see? So here in this hand, thumb represents God. This index finger represents ego. It's a Jivatma. The other 3 fingers have so many representation. It can be Sthula, Sukshma, Karana Sharira. This is one explanation. Absolutely valid. The other is, it is 3 states of the mind. What are the 3 states? Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. The 3 states. The other one is the 3 gunas. What are they? Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. 3 gunas. Another explanation is the Triputi. What is Triputi? Pramata, Prameya, Pramana. Pramata, knower. Pramana, instrument of knowing. Then Prameya, object of knowledge. So this is another explanation. If it is our Gurudev explanation, it will be BMI. That's also okay. So all these explanations are valid. Okay. So what is our present situation now? So who are we in this 5 finger? This. Okay, the ego, the Jivatma. What is our condition now? Our condition, we are in ignorance. What is that state of ignorance? We are one with these 3 fingers. We are one with this means what? So first one, Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Sharira. So we are one with this Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Sharira. And this finger is separate from thumb now. It's a natural state. Natural state is this finger is always with the other 3 fingers. You see? At present, it has become natural to us to forget God, to be separate from God, and to be one with Sukshma, Sthula, Karana, Sharira. It has become natural. And we think this is the way it should be. We are comfortable with it also. Right. As a Jiva, we are comfortable in our Jiva Bhava, in being separate from God. This is the state of ignorance. And we think in our delusion that this is a natural state. So in this natural state, what are we experiencing? Only 3 states. What are they? Waking, dream, deep sleep. Waking, dream, deep sleep. And we think these are the only 3 states. This is our condition. And what is our condition? Constantly this 3. I am the knower, using the instruments of knowing. I am knowing the object of knowledge. This transaction is constantly happening. Right? Pramata, Prameya, Pramana. This is what my condition is in the state of my ignorance. So this Dakshinamurti, he is giving the teaching. Mauna Vyakhya it is. He is giving the teaching in silence. He is not speaking anything. Just with a mudra, he is teaching. What is his mudra? Chinmudra. What does the teaching say? Separate yourself from these 3. Unite yourself with ultimate truth in you, the consciousness in you, the God in you. It is there in you already. You are not aware. Pay attention to this great truth in you. Shift your attention from the three in you to the one in you. Shift your attention. This is the way to put an end to all sorrows. Janana marana dukkha chedam. This is the way. Everybody in this world is miserable. Everybody. There is nobody who is not miserable. The rich and the poor, the literate and the illiterate, the married, the unmarried, the young and the old, man or woman, it doesn't matter. We are all miserable. What is the reason why we are miserable? Dakshinamurti says you are miserable because there is dukkha sanyoga. Sanyoga. You have become one with what? Dukkha. What is dukkha? These three. It is nothing but dukkha. So what you have to do? Dukkha sanyoga, viyoga has to be done. You have to separate yourself from this dukkha sanyoga. This is called viyoga. Separate yourself. Dukkha sanyoga viyoga yoga. And then you have to unite with the infinite in you, the perfect in you. This is a message. Chinmudra. Now this mudra is not only the mudra of knowledge, it is also the mudra of devotion also. So this finger going and touching this thumb, what does it mean? Surrender. Sharanagati. This finger has to bow down, you see. If it has to touch the thumb, it has to bow down. What is that bowing down? Surrender. Sharanagati. What happens when you do Sharanagati? Jiva Brahma Aikya happens. You see? From the side of the Jiva, the moment Jivatma surrenders, that very same moment, Aikyam happens. In the language of devotion, we emphasize on Sharanagati, which is the process, which is the sadhana. In the language of knowledge, we emphasize on result, sadhya. What is it? Jiva Brahma Aikya. Where the Jivatma comes to realize his oneness with Paramatma. So when does that oneness happen? When surrender has become perfect, oneness happens instantly. Oneness is experienced instantly. There is no delay at all. So from our side, what we have to do? Sharanagati is the way. From his side, what he will do? He will bless us with the experience of oneness. You see? So both are one. Language alone is different. One is the language of the heart, devotion. The other is the language of the head, knowledge. Language is different, but it is the same thing. So Chinmudra is also Bhakti Mudra. No doubt about it. There is no difference. There is no difference between Bhakti and Jnana. A Jnana which has no Bhakti is not Jnana. A Bhakti which has no Jnana is no Bhakti. This has to be clearly understood. Now, when this finger touches the thumb, what do you get? You get a circle, isn't it? What does circle represent? Circle can represent two things. It can represent Shunyam, zero. It can also represent infinite, Anantam. So who becomes zero? The Jivatma becomes zero. Surrender is nothing but giving up Jiva Bhava. Giving up Jiva Bhava means what? Becoming a zero. You become Shunyam. That is what you have to do at the seat of your meditation. To make you Anantam, that is his responsibility. Aham apetakam nija vibhanakam. Aham apetakam. Dropping the ego is what you have to do. That is your sadhana. So now why this circle is called infinite? What is infinite? That which doesn't have beginning, that which doesn't have end. Now in a circle, can you pinpoint the beginning? There is no beginning. You can't say where it has started. You can't say where it has ended. That is why the circle is also a representation of infinite. You can't say where it has begun, where it has ended. That means limitlessness. That means infinity. See, what a beautiful representation of the truth. You become zero. The way to become infinite. What is the way? The way is to efface yourself. When the drop merges with the ocean, what happens? The drop has become zero. It has disappeared. But what has happened to the essence of the drop, water? The essence has become infinite. You see? The form has disappeared, but the essence has become infinite. This is what will happen at Samadhi also. Individuality is gone. The essence has merged with the infinite. This is the message. Oh my dear child, there is a way to put an end to all sorrows. What is the way? Separate yourself. You are holding on to nothing but sorrow alone. Separate yourself. Become one with that consciousness in you. Shift your attention to that consciousness. Abide there. Rest there. Make your dwelling there. That is the way to live. That is true existence. This is Chinmudra. So, the source of the knowledge is the Vedas. What is the content of knowledge? Chinmudra is the content. How to practice it? Japamala. So one hand is Japamala. What is Japamala? Japamala represents abhyasa. Constant practice. What are you doing in Japamala? You are doing the same thing again and again. You are rotating the beads. A person who doesn't know anything about this, he will say, what are you doing? Nonsense. Doing the same thing again and again. The same mala is coming back again and again. It appears to be a redundant activity, a meaningless activity. But it has a huge meaning. What is the meaning? At present, a habit has been formed. What is the habit? The Jivatma is one with the three. This has become natural. How did it become natural? Anything becomes natural out of habit. How is habit created? By repeated practice, habit is created. So if erroneous notion has come because of repeated practice, how to get rid of this erroneous notion? Practice alone is the way. Anti-practice is the way. Practice in the other direction. So I have been doing one japa in my ignorance. What is the japa? Jivosmi, 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 jivosmi. So now what japa I have to do? Brahmasmi, Brahmasmi. That's all. See? Constantly repeat. Constantly bring into your mind the reality. Be in touch with the truth. Practice. Do it again and again. Once or twice will not do. It should become a habit. It should become effortless. It should become natural to you, spontaneous in you. And for that, there is no other way but repetition. Repeatedly you have to do Shravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasanam. When can you stop it? The day it has become natural to you, you need not do it. The proof is it should become a habit. It should become natural to you. effortless in you. You should know, I am Brahman. Just like today we know, I am a man. Do we need japa for it? No. It has become natural to such an extent that even in dream, if I am man in the waking, I am man in the... Yes, you just observe this. You will never see yourself as a woman in the dream, if you are a man in the waking. The reverse is also true. Always. Whatever you are in the waking, the same will be your identity in the... Why it is so? It is so because that feeling has become natural. So wherever you are, it expresses. Your identity expresses. So suppose a person, samadhi becomes natural, what will be his sleep? In his sleep also, samadhi will continue. Isn't it? Habit will continue everywhere. It doesn't matter which state of mind you are in. Whatever the way you have understood yourself. If you have understood yourself as a human being, in the dream you will find yourself as a human being. If you have understood yourself as consciousness, in the dream also, if at all you dream, in the dream also, you will know yourself as consciousness alone, drashta alone. You see? Habit will continue everywhere. So how to create that habit? Japamala. That's why all these deities have Japamala there. If you see Saraswati also, one hand is Japamala. Practice is the way. Nirantara abhyasa. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grishyate. What is the abhyasa? Separating from the three, becoming one with the thumb. So in Chinmudra, what is the abhyasa? This is the abhyasa. Constantly it has to be done. That is a practice. What is the result of this knowledge? So we'll see fire. What does fire stands for? Fire stands for destroying ability, purifying ability, unifying ability, self-illumining ability. That's why generally this Jnanam is compared with Agni. Jnanagni is a very common phrase. Jnanagni. Yathedhamsi samidhognihi bhasmasat kurute Arjuna Jnanagni sarvakarmani bhasmasat kurute tatha. Right. The one ability of fire is the ability to destroy. What about Jnanam? Self-knowledge. What does it destroy? It destroys vasanas. It destroys all karmas. It destroys the jiva bhava. It destroys avidya. Burns it. Jnanagni sarvakarmani bhasmasat kurute. Destroys. The destroying ability knowledge has. Then the purifying ability. Just like in fire, you purify metal like gold, etc. All the impurities are gone and the gold shines brilliantly in all perfection. In the same way, knowledge has the ability to purify. What does it purify? It purifies the impure Paramatma. Who is this impure Paramatma? Jivatma. Paramatma with wrong notion is Jivatma. Who else is Jivatma? Paramatma with ignorance is Jivatma. Isn't it? So this Paramatma with ignorance is called impure Paramatma. So we are all impure Paramatmas now. So we should be put into fire. Which fire? That's called as Jnana Tapas, you see. Tapas is also, tapa, heating. To be heated. So in that heat, all the impurities go. So what happens to this impure Paramatma? He becomes Paramatma, that's all. He regains his purity in this Jnana Tapas, purifying ability. And the third one is unifying ability. Whatever you put into fire, end result is only one. Unity, one. What is it? Ash. In the same way, whatever you put into this fire of knowledge, result is one. Advaita. There is nothing but God. So whoever has been purified through knowledge, his vision becomes a vision of oneness. He sees only one. He sees only God. Unifying vision. Then what is the unique feature about this fire? Self-illumining ability. You don't need another light to see fire. In the same way, you don't need another consciousness to know yourself, because consciousness is self-luminous. It knows itself, it knows everything. You don't need another consciousness to know this. Sattva bhasika. What is that? Chitkava itara, Ramana Maharshi. Is it necessary to have another consciousness to know this consciousness? No. Consciousness is self-luminous, like fire. It knows itself. It doesn't need another light. So these are all the similarities between Jnana and fire. So fire is one thing represented. Here it is. What is the result of knowledge? There, fire. No, you have to meditate upon this fire. What this fire is. You see? So the four hands. What is the first one? Vedas, source of knowledge. Second one? Not Japamala. The water is there, bhai. What is the second one? The content of knowledge. Chinmudra. Third one? The practice of knowledge. Japamala. The fourth one? The result of knowledge. Fire. You shine like fire. See? What shines? It's not that your skin shines, Let me see who is a realized person here. Anyone who has a glowing skin, he is real. Because it is said, Dakshinamurti is carrying fire as a result of knowledge. And that's why, you all these photos, etc., at the back there is an aura. They paint a yellow aura to show that this is an enlightened man. Illumined one. So what is this light? This light means that ability to clearly see what is real, what is unreal, what is good, what is bad, what is permanent, what is that ability. That is called, the light of fire, light of knowledge. Right. So the four hands are over. Now what? In which asana Dakshinamurti is seated? Which asana? That asana is called Virasana. There are so many Virasanas. This is one among so many Virasanas. Okay. Our Hanumanji in Siddhavadi, if you have seen Hanumanji there in Siddhavadi, he is also in Virasana. That is also called Virasana. This asana is also called Virasana. So Virasana is an asana where that asana represents total control, mastery, Ishitvam, the ability to rule everything. What is he ruling? So another name of Dakshinamurti is Ashtamurti Bhrit. Where did you hear this term? Jagata Ishadhi Yukta Sevanam Ashtamurti Bhrit Deva Pujanam. In Upadeshasara, who is the teacher? Ramana Maharshi. He is giving the explanation, but actually it's a story in the Purana written by Muruganar. So the stage comes when Lord Shiva has to bless these elderly ascetics. So then he felt he is not capable. So then he goes to Ramana Maharshi. So in that story, Actually, it is the same, story background. It is a Lord Shiva as Dakshinamurti giving the information, giving the teaching. So Upadesha Sara is also actually teaching given by Lord Shiva only. That's why Ashtamurti Bhrit, that term comes in that verse. So Lord Dakshinamurti, his another name is Ashtamurti Bhrit. In fact, it will come in our Stotram also. Bhuram bhamsi nalo nilombar mahar natho himam shufpuman. It comes in the 9th verse, I think. Ityabhati characharatmakamidam yasyaiva murtyashtakam. So what are the Ashtamurti? Bhuhu. Bhu means earth, bhumi. Ambhamsi means water. Analaha means fire. Anilaha means air. Ambaraha, space. So 5 elements. Then Aharnathaha. Aha means day. Aharnatha means the master of the day. Who is the master, the lord of the day? Sun. Aharnatha. Himamshuhu. Moon. So how many over? 7. 5 elements. Sun, moon. The last one is Puman. Jivatma. Jivatma. So totally 8. So the Lord who is Bhrit, the supporter of these 8, factors. So therefore the name of the Lord is Ashtamurti Bhrit, the supporter of the 8 forms. The 5 elements. Sun represents all the heavenly bodies with its own light. Moon represents all heavenly bodies which doesn't have its own light, which only reflects light. Then Jivatma represents all the living beings. Now everything is covered, nothing is left now. So the Lord of matter, we can say. The Lord of Jiva and Jagat. That is Ashtamurti Bhrit. What is another name of Dakshinamurti? Another name is Sadashiva. So that's why we chant Sadashiva Samarambham Shankarachari Madhyamam. This knowledge has come from where? From Sadashiva. What is the difference between Shiva and Sadashiva? One Sada is there, isn't it? What is the difference? See, the thing is, what is the role of Shiva? Destruction. Pralaya is the role, isn't it? But normal Shiva, when he does Pralaya, again and again after Pralaya, Srishti also comes. But when Sadashiva does Pralaya, it is permanent, Sada. And how does he do Pralaya? With knowledge, with Chinmudra. Means what? As far as that individual is concerned, there is no more creation. It's over. That's why Sadashiva. It puts a full stop, a permanent full stop to Jiva Bhava, to this Janana Marana Chakra. That is the meaning Sadashiva. You see? Right. So Bhagavan is seated in Virasana. Virasana means what? Total control. He's the one who rules over Jagat. He's the one who rules over all the Jivas and full control. Now under his foot, now don't ask Swamiji which foot is down, right foot or left foot. What is the significance of the right foot going down? The significance is this: when his right foot got tired, Okay? This is the only answer we can give. Some questions are meaningless. Swamiji, why is Hanumanji's Gada on the right and not on the left? See, in one place he kept it in the right, another place he kept in the left. That's all we can say. Okay. So now, one leg is hanging down. And under that leg, what do you see there? There is a Rakshasa there. And what is he doing? He is holding one snake also, isn't it? If you see that photo, a Rakshasa. Who is that Rakshasa? I myself, who else? So the significance of that we will see later. Sukhinah sarve santu niramayah sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkha bhag asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om.